Hello everyone, today we're going to go through another P6 math paper, so let's not waste any time and let's get into the paper. Okay, the first question, question 27, is from paper 1. Sue had 6 bottles of water. Bottle contained the same amount of water. She poured out 200 ml of water from each bottle, and after that, the amount of water left in 6 bottles was equal to the amount of water in 4 of the bottles at first. What was the amount of water in each bottle at first? Give your answers in milliliter. I'm going to draw a model for this. In this question, there are 6 bottles, so I'm going to draw a block and I'm going to cut it into 6 bottles. Okay, and she poured out 200 ml of water from each bottle. I'm going to draw a line to represent the amount of water that she poured out from each bottle, which will be about here. Now I'm going to highlight this part here as yellow. Okay, so the yellow part will be the amount of water that she poured out, and the green part would be the amount of water that's left in the bottles. Okay, so now the amount of water left in 6 bottles was equal to the amount of water in 4 of the bottles at first, which means that if now I'm going to draw another model which is also the same 6 bottles. Here, again, cut it into 6 bottles. The amount of water left, which is the highlighted green part, will be able to fill up 4 bottles, right? So it's going to fill up 4 bottles. Which means that by now you should realize the amount of water that was poured out is able to fill up the remaining 2 bottles. Now, what was the amount of water in each bottle at first? So we need to find if each one is 200 ml. First, you have to use 200 multiplied by 6, which will give you 1200 ml. And after which you got to use 1200 divided by 2, which will give you 600 ml. The answer is 600. Question 29. The figure below is made up of a square and a rectangle. The ratio of the shaded area to the area of the square is 2:3. So which means that the shaded area is to the square is 2:3. And the ratio of the shaded area to the area of the rectangle, shaded area is to the rectangle, is 3:7. What fraction of the figure is shaded? In this case, we know that the shaded area is the common item, right? So we need to multiply this by 3 and multiply this by 2 to make them the same, which will become 6:3. 9, and this will become 6:14. Which means that looking at the square, the shaded area will be 6 units, and the unshaded part will be 3 units, which means that the total is 9 units over here. Looking at the rectangle, the shaded part is 6 units, which means that the unshaded part will be 8 units. So 8 plus 6 will give you 14. Okay, the total units will be 3 plus 6 plus 8, which will be 17 units. Fraction of the figure that's shaded will be 6 out of 17. Question 30. It takes 4 minutes for tap A to fully fill an empty tank on its own. It takes 5 minutes for tap B to fully fill the same empty tank on its own. Starting with an empty tank, how long does it take for both taps to fill the entire tank, given that both taps were turned on at the same time? Give your answers in minutes. Now, tap A takes 4 minutes to fill up one tank. Tap B takes 5 minutes to fill up the same tank, which means that in 1 minute, okay, tap A can fill up a quarter of the tank, and tap B can fill up 1/5 of the tank. Okay, if we were to turn them on together, tap A plus B, what fraction of the tank can they fill up in 1 minute? This is 1 minute. Okay, 1 over... This is gonna give me 9 over 20. They want us to find how long does it take for both taps to fill up the entire tank. So, which means that 9 over 20 is equals to 1 minute. Time taken to fill up 1 over 20 of the tank is 1 out of 9 minutes. So if I want to fill up the whole tank, which is 20 over 20, I will need to use 1 over 9 multiplied by 20, which is 20 over 9, and if you change it into mix, it will be 2 and 2 out of 9 minutes. Okay, this will be the answer. Let's go on to paper 2, question 1. The average math scores of April, Ben, Chris, and Darren was 86. When Edward's math score was added in, the average score became 74. What was Edward's math score? So now we need to find the total of A plus B plus C plus D. That would be 86 times 4. $344. Now, if we want to find the total of A plus B plus C plus D plus Edward be 74 multiplied by 5. $370, which means that to find Edward's score, you have to use 370 minus 344. $26. Question 2. The mass of a papaya is 2.4 kg. Mass of a durian is 2/3. Okay, the mass of the papaya. So what is the total mass of both the papaya and the durian? Papaya is 2.4 kg, right? The mass of the durian is 2/3 the mass of the papaya, which means I need to use 2/3 multiplied by 2.4, which is going to give me 1.6 kg. Their total mass would be 2.4 kg plus 1.6 kg, which will give me a 4 kg. Question 3. The square grid below shows the plan of a playroom. A. In what direction are the tables from the from the toys? So the table is here. Toys are here, which means that you have to think of yourself as standing at the position where the toys are. Okay, looking at the tables. This would be in the, if this is the north, this would be the south. So for part A, it is the south. Part B, a new fish tank will be placed in the playroom at a location southeast of. Let me use a highlighter. Southeast of the stools and northeast of the books. Put a tick in the square where the fish tank will be placed. The stools south east is in this direction, so I'm going to draw an arrow points to the southeast direction. And northeast of the books, northeast will be in this direction. Okay, which means that the position will be here. Question 4. The shop sold pens for 70 cents each and rulers for 50 cents each. May bought some pens and rulers. She bought 8 more rulers and pens, but she spent $1.40 more on the pens than on the rulers. How many rulers did she buy? This question we need to draw a model. So first I'm going to draw a model, a rectangular block that represents the number of pens. Okay. The pen will be here. The pen is 70 cents, so maybe I should draw it a bit taller. Okay, the blue box will be for the pen. Treat this as the number of pen, and the height would be, the pen is 70 cents each. Here to here is 70 cents. Now I'm gonna draw another block which represents the rulers. black color, but the color is not working. I need to do this to wake it up. Okay, the black color box is for the rulers, 50 cents each, and there is 8 more, so I'm gonna draw it longer. And here to here will basically be the 50 cents. Okay, this is the black color box for the rulers. This will be the number. Okay, but remember there is a 8 more, so I'm gonna draw a dotted line over here, and here to here will be the 8. Okay, we know that this part over here is 8 times 50 cents, which is equal to $4. Okay, and then she spent $1.40 more on the pen, which means that the area of the pen should be $1.40 more than the area of the black color rulers, right? I were to draw a dotted line here. Okay, you can see that this area over here is supposed to be equal to this area here. Now, where is the extra part? The extra part is here, right? Which means that over here we'll have a $4 plus the 140. Okay, and if you look over here, this is 20 cents. Now, if I use $4 plus $1.40, which is $5.40 divided by 20 cents, okay, it's going to give me $27, which means that from here to here it should be $27. Okay, they're asking for how many rulers did she buy. That also means that here to here is 27. So 27 plus 8 will give you 35 rulers. Question 5. The figure below shows a rectangle with shaded stripes. Find the area of the shaded parts. In this question, you need to move the shaded parts. So you have to realize that this shaded part over here can fit into the white part over here. And this shaded part over here, okay, is going to fit into the unshaded part over here. Which means that basically half of this rectangle is shaded. The total over here is 16. Total over here is 24, which means that to find the area of the shaded part, we're gonna use half times 24 times 16 and reduce so that I can use a 24 times 8 which is going to give me 192. Question 6. Gabriel had a piece of wire 157 long. He used part of the wire to make the figure below. Okay, express the length of remaining wire in terms of W in the simplest form. So let us find out what is the total parameter of this figure, which is (16W). The length of remaining wire would be 150 minus 16W cm. I think they have to mention that this is also in terms of centimeter. If not, I can't multiply, I can't subtract it like this. Part B. Gabriel used the remaining wire to form an equilateral triangle. If W equals to 6, find the length of one side of the equilateral triangle. So the first thing I need to find is what's the length of the remaining wire. I have to use 150 subtract 16 multiplied by 6. (54 cm) and 54 divided by 3 because it's an equilateral triangle. It's going to give me 18 cm. That will be the answer for part B. This is for part A. Question 7. A group of pupils were asked to choose their favorite fruits. The results are shown in the graph below. The bar that shows the number of pupils who choose strawberry has not been drawn. Part A, they are asking me to find what is the ratio of the number of pupils who choose apple, okay, to the total number of pupils who choose durian, mango, orange. Let us write down the number first. Apple would be, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps, right? So each one is 2. This is 24. This is, durian is 38. Mango would be 12. Orange would be, this is a bit difficult to see, 22. Okay, I'm gonna do the working over here. So durian plus mango plus orange is 38 plus 12 plus 22, which is gonna give me 72. Which means that apple is to durian is 24 is to 72. Simplest form would be 1 is to 3. Part B. A quarter of the pupils choose strawberry. Draw the bar that shows the number of pupils who choose strawberry. Okay, I'm going to do the working over here. If a quarter choose strawberry, it means that 3/4 choose the rest, which is apple plus durian plus mango plus orange. Okay, the rest is basically 72 plus 24, which will give me a 96. 3/4 is equals to 96, which means that a quarter would be 96 divided by 3. 32. I need to draw 32. Draw the bar that shows the number of people who chose strawberry. 32 would be... here. This is for part B. Question 8. 4 wooden boards were nailed together as shown in the picture below. Board A has 7 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, which divides them into 8 equal parts. Board B has 5 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which divides it into 6 equal parts. Holes W, X, Y, and Z are 4 corners of the rectangle. Given that board B is 270 cm long, what is the length of board A? So we look at board B. How many gaps are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gaps. Now we're gonna use we need to find the length of one gap, which is 270 divided by 6. That's gonna give me 45 cm. So here to here is 45. If I use 45 multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to get 180 cm, which represents here to here. 180 cm. Now I need to find what is the length of one of this gap, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 180 divided by 6. It's 30 cm, and to find board A, I will need to use 30 cm multiplied by board A is divided into 8 equal parts. Okay, 30 cm multiplied by 8. 240 cm is the answer. Question 9. Lincoln and Mandy started jogging from the same point. Mandy started jogging 4 minutes earlier than Lincoln, and Lincoln's jogging speed was 400 meter per minute and Mandy's jogging speed is 300 meter per minute. They went in the same direction and did not change their speed throughout. What distance would Mandy have jogged when Lincoln caught up with her? This is a speed distance time question where 2 objects are moving in the same direction, but one object is ahead and the object behind it is trying to catch up. Now the first thing we need to find is the distance ahead. for Mandy. Since Mandy started jogging 4 minutes earlier, okay, to find the distance, we need to use speed times time. It will be 300 multiplied by 4, 1,200 meters. Okay, there is a trick to find catching up, that is to find the time to catch up. Okay, we need to use the distance between them. Okay, divided by the difference in their speed. The difference between Mandy and Lincoln would be 1,200 meters. The difference between their speed would be 100 meters per minute. Okay, this will give me 12 minutes, which means that Lincoln will take 12 minutes to catch up to Mandy, and Mandy will travel another 12 minutes. Now I need to find out in these 12 minutes, okay, what is the distance covered by Mandy, which is 12 times 300. 3,600 meters, and remember she was 1,200 meters ahead, right? So I have to use 3,600 plus 1,200, which will give me 4,800 meters. Question 10. In the figure below, ABAC DF is a square. AC is perpendicular to BE. AG is equal to BE is equal to CG. Find angle AGD. AGD is this. Okay, the first thing we need to realize is this is an equilateral triangle, because if AG is equal to BE, which is equal to CD, and that means it will also be equal to AC. So this is all 60, this is 60, this is 60, and since we know this is 90 degrees, so this is 30. The next thing that you need to realize is CG is equal to CD, which means that this triangle over here is an isosceles triangle. So if this is 30, to find one of these angle here, I need to use 180 minus 30, and then after that divided by 2. 150 divided by 2 would give me 75. Okay, so to find the answer, I just need to use 60 plus 75. (135 degrees). Question 11. 4 students completed a quiz. They had to answer as many questions as possible within a given time. 5 points were awarded for each correct answer, but 2 points were deducted. Okay, for each wrong answer. The table shows the number of correct and wrong answers obtained by 3 of the pupils, 3 of the students. Which of the 3 students got the most number of points? In this case, we can calculate out. For student A, correct will earn you 5 points, and wrong will have 2 points deducted. This will give me 98. Student B, 25 multiplied by 5 minus 14 times 2. Student C, 22 times 5 minus 8 times 2. $94, which means that the student that scored the most would be student A. But B, student D attempted the same number of questions as student C, okay, which means that 30 question. But obtained 21 points more, which means that 94 plus 21 would be 115 points. How many questions did student D answer correctly? Now, this question we can use a bit of guess and check technique for correct if it is 22 times 5, and for the wrong if it is 8 times 2. The total we know that it is 94. Now I'm going to increase the correct by 1. 23 times 5, and the wrong will become 7 times 2. This will give me 101. And remember, the thing that we're interested in is every time I increase the correct question by 1, I will plus 7 to the points. Okay, if I want to increase to 115, I need to plus how many points? 14, which means that I need to increase by 2. It would be 25 correct and 5 wrong. Let me check if this is going to give me the correct answer. Okay, so this is going to give me the correct answer. So how many questions did student D answer correctly? That would be 25. Question 12, the figure below, PQSU, PQ, S and U, is a trapezium. PQR RU, PQ, RU is a parallelogram. And SUT, where is S? Triangle SUT is an isosceles triangle. Okay, angle PQR is 72, PRS is 114, and RSU is 46. Now I need to find angle A and angle B. Angle A, since we know that PQRU is a parallelogram, this would be 72, and angle A would be 180 minus 72. Which is 108 degree. This is the answer for part A. For part B, since we know that this is 108, okay, we also know that this is 72. Now we can find this angle over here. It's basically 72 plus 46. So to find angle B, I need to use 180 minus 118 and divide it by 2. It's gonna give me 31 degree. Question 13. Ms. Teo made some muffins to sell. 4/5 of them were chocolate muffins and the rest were blueberry muffins. They're selling 84 blueberry muffins and 5/8 of the chocolate muffins. She had 2/5 of the muffins left. How many muffins did Mrs. Teo sell? In this question, I'm gonna draw a model. I'm gonna cut this into 5 parts. Four-fifths were chocolate, which means that here to here is chocolate, and the rest were blueberry. After selling 84 blueberry muffins, okay, the problem is I do not know how big or how small is 84. I do know that, okay, 5/8 of the chocolate muffins, if I'm going to, can see that chocolate muffins, there are 4 blocks, right? So if I were to cut it all into half, this is going to give me just nice 8 blocks, which means that, okay, 5/8 were sold. Okay, she had 2/5 of the muffins left. 2/5 is also equal to 4/10. The reason why I want to change it to out of 10 is because now the total units, the cutting it into half became 10 units. So which means that 4 units were left. One, two, 3 left. Which means that this is the 84 that's sold. Okay, for the blueberry muffins. Now I need to find how many muffins did Mrs. Teo sell? So she sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $504 muffins were sold. Question 14. A tank measuring 36 cm by 70 cm by 25 cm was wanted filled with water at first. Tap X and Y were turned on at the same time. Water was flowing out from tap Y at the rate of 750 cm cubed per minute. It took 30 minutes to fill the tank to the brim. Part A is asking you how much more water was needed to fill the tank to the brim at first. Okay, we know that the tank was 1/3 filled with water at first, which means that the empty space will be 2/3, right? If I'm gonna find what is 2/3 of 36 cm, which is the height, it's going to give me 24 cm. Okay, so the height of the empty space is 24 cm. Now I can find the volume of the empty space, which is 24 times 70 times 25. $42,000 cm cube. Part B, how much water was flowing into the tank from tap X per minute? Leave your answer in cm cube. We know that it took 30 minutes to fill the tank to the brim. So I want to find out every minute how much water is flowing into the empty space. Gonna use 42,000 divided by 30. $1,400 cm cube per minute. Now I know that tap Y, okay, water is flowing out at the rate of 750 cm cube per minute, right? So which means that tap X, okay, will need to fill up at the rate of 1,400 plus 750, which is 2,150 cubic cm per minute. That will be the answer for part B. Part A is 42,000. Part B is 2,150. Question 15. The figure below is made up of shaded and unshaded squares. Fill in the missing blanks for part 1 and part 2. Okay, we can see that between the figure number and the shaded square, there is a pattern which is always +1 of the figure pattern, right? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 4, 5. Okay, and the total number of squares is a square number. Okay, because 4 is 2 times 2, 9 is 3 times 3, and 16 is 4 times 4. Okay, but looking at the figure number, it means that if you use the figure number +1 and you square it, you will get the total number of squares. Okay, or you can square the number of shaded squares. Okay, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square will give you the number over here. So figure number 4, okay, the total number of squares will be 5 times 5, which is 25. And since the total number of squares, okay, minus the shaded square will give you the unshaded square, which means that if I use 25 minus 5, this would be 20. Okay, part B, find the number of unshaded squares in figure 40. Part B, figure 40. Okay, so we know that the shaded squares would be +1, which means that it's 41. Unshaded square, I do not know, but I know that the total square would be 41 times 41. 1681. So if I were to use same thing, the total square subtract the shaded squares, it will give me the number of unshaded squares. Which is 1640. Let's see which figure has 380 unshaded squares. So this is 380. Now I need to find the figure number. Okay, if you look at the pattern over here, using the figure number multiplied by the number of shaded square, it's gonna give me the unshaded one. And it is always in consecutive numbers, so 1 times 2 equals to 2, 2 times 3 is equals to 6, 3 times 4 is equals to 12, 5 times 4 is equals to 20. Which means that in this case, I just need to find what times what will give me 38, which are consecutive. With the help of a calculator, okay, it shouldn't take too long. (18 times 90 is wrong. 20 times 21, okay, overshot. So which means that it's 19 times 20. Yep, 19 times 20 will give me 380. So which means that the answer for part C is figure 19. Question 16. Jiaming paid $960 for 2 tablets using the eFair savings coupon shown below. If he had not used the eFair savings coupon, how much more would he have paid? Would he have to pay for the 2 tablets? So using the coupon, you will enjoy a 30% discount off the first tablet and 50% discount off the second tablet. Okay, which means that the first tablet costs 70% and the second tablet costs 50%. Okay, you can treat it as if you're not comfortable with using percentage, you can treat it as units. But in this case, I'm going to use it as percentage, which means that the total cost is 70% plus 50%. It is going to give me 120%. Okay, 120% is equal to the $960. I'm gonna find what is 1% first, because usually if you can find what is 1%, you probably can already solve the question. It's $8. They want you to find how much more would he have to pay for the 2 tablets. Okay, since the total discount is 80%, so I just need to find what is 80%. 640, which means that he will have to pay $640 more without the coupon. Question 17. Square piece of paper of size 64 cm has a design on it. The design is made by a 3 cm white shaded strip. The outline of the design is made up of quarter circles. I think this is the quarter circle, with the center C and straight lines. All straight lines meet at right angles. Find the area of the shaded part. The first thing we're gonna find is the area of this part over here. Okay, I need to find the length of this part here first. That would be 64 minus 6 divided by 2. This is 29. So the length of this blue color strip would be 29 plus 6, which is 35. This is 3. So the blue color box is equal to 35 times 3, which is equal to 105. Now if I use 105 times 2, going to give me 210. Okay, 210 is including this part here, but okay, we have to be careful about the overlapping part here. So I need to use 210 minus the area of this square, which is 3 times 3, 9. Okay, 201 cm square. This is basically the blue color portion over here. Next, I need to find the area of the curved part here. Here. Okay, I'm going to find the area of the big 3/4 circle minus the area of the small 3/4 circle. Okay, the big 3/4 circle would be 3/4 times pi times the radius of the big circle will be 29 square. Okay, this is going to give me pi is 3.14. Okay, I'm going to write down the full value, 198. 0.555. This is for the big. Okay, for the small, 3/4 times pi times the radius of the smaller would be 29 minus 3, which is 26 square. $1,591.98. Okay, I'm going to continue over here. If I were to use 1980.555 subtract 1591.98, that is going to give me 388.575. So to find the area of the shaded parts, okay, I'm going to use 201 plus 388.575. Going to give me 589.575. Okay, I think not. Did they ask to round off the value? No. Okay, so the answer will be 589 and 0.575 cm square. Okay, this would be the last question. Okay, so that will be all for today. Hopefully y'all can learn something today, and see you all next week.